everybody, it's 13th Wolfman. You know what today is? Well, technically today is a twofer. So let me give a quick little explanation of why there was no video yesterday. Because there's two today. We had a power outage. I didn't have any way to have light to shoot the video or upload or edit the video. So that was yesterday. So when the power came on, I got a chance to see the movie that I'm going to talk about, but I figured I would just do a day 15, 16 video together. That's what this is. So, today is day 15 and day 16 of the 31 days of horror. There you go. Before we get into it, always like, subscribe, share, and comment. I always want to know what you have to say, because I want to know what you've seen these movies. And you got to check out the people doing this. Brother Max, Mood 616, Chill Pilgrim over on Letterboxd, Tony Has 9 Fingers over on YouTube, Double Shot J, Carly, Jennifer Toshi, Professor Macabro. The list goes on. There's a lot of people doing this, and we all have fun doing it. My theme this year is Tubi. If you didn't know that by now, all the movies I'm watching are available on Tubi right now. So let's get into it. The first movie that we're going to talk about for day 15 is The Resort. The Resort was, man, The Resort was a cool movie. This is one of those movies that the ending ruined the rest of the film. I liked the movie, and I'm like, oh, this is a good movie. I'm gonna give this 3 chainsaws out of 4. And then if they would have cut off the last 5 to 10 seconds of the ending, it would still have a 3 chainsaw rating. But the very, very ending made no sense. So I was just kind of like, okay, it goes from a 3 chainsaw rating to a 2 chainsaw rating. And basically what the movie's about is that there are 4 friends. It reminded me a lot of The Ruins. You know, you take The Ruins and you mix it with The Haunting from the 60s. And you have a really cool idea for a movie. There's this girl named Lexi. She's got a podcast, and she wants to do a story on this haunted resort in Hawaii on a private island that no one's allowed to go to because something happened. They don't really go into the details of what exactly happened, but something happened and the entire island was shut down. No one's been able to visit there since then. And it's like, okay. I mean, there are people that live on the island, and they do have roaming security guards on the island to watch over the facility. And it's a really nice, really, really nice resort. I mean, if this place is real, wow. I would love to visit there. I mean, just the look of it, you know. And so her boyfriend and another friend and, like, I'm going to say girlfriend, you know, but they spring for her on her birthday a trip to Hawaii, a trip to the island. They found someone that would take them to this island. But they only have like 6 hours to be on the island, or they'll miss the boat that's going to take them off, and there won't be another boat for like a week. You know, they don't have enough food or enough, you know, it's like, okay. Lexi she's really super into the paranormal, and she's there, and she's like, the other friends are like, let's go to the waterfall, you know, because there's supposed to be a beautiful waterfall on this island, and she's like, let's go to the resort, and they go to the waterfall. She gets annoyed. They finally go to the resort. Then they could only, like I said, they could only stay there so long before they miss the boat, and they keep on saying something to her, and they find out that this place is actually It is haunted. And it's creepy. And most of the story is told from flashbacks. So this is the other downfall of the movie. They start at kind of like towards the ending. You know, we see Lexi is in the hospital, and she's like, she starts telling her story, and she goes, "They're all dead." Well, now we know what happened to the other three characters, and it kind of annoys me when movies do this. You know, they'll go 3 days earlier or 5 hours earlier, and you're like, but I know the outcome. Why would I invest? I mean, I did invest in this, and I thought this was going to be a good movie, a really, really good movie, and that part didn't bug me so much, but it does bug me when you see it's becoming way, way too cliche. Just start at the beginning and tell me a story. I'm not asking for much. Just start at the beginning, go all the way through. I'm pretty sure you could tell a really decent story if you do it that way, rather than going, I know what we'll do. We'll start here, and then we'll say 4 days earlier. It's like, come on. I already know what's going to happen up to that point. You know? Obviously. This was a cool movie. Like I said, it went from being a 3 chainsaw movie to a 2 chainsaw movie, mainly because of the very, very ending. I'm not going to say anything about the ending. Just to me, I just kind of like said, when it got over, I was just kind of like, the ending was just kind of stupid. You know? I mean, what? And I felt that it, you know, okay, time to get the eraser out. Take off that one chainsaw, because it just went from being exceptional, you know, a 3 chainsaw, to average. You know, and that just kind of sucks. So that's the first movie that we're talking about for day 15. Now let's get to day 16. Day 16 was Sting from 2024. This, again, I mean, 2 movies back to back that were pretty good movies. This movie was really, really cool. It's basically a story of a girl who grows up in an apartment building. She's growing up in an apartment building that her grandmother and her great aunt own. And her great aunt, Gunther, I think is what they called her, if I remember right. She's a bitch. She's just a great A royal bitch. She doesn't want to put any money into this building. It's easier just to, you know, it's like, oh, my dad owned this building and he only paid this much. I should have to only pay this much. It's like, yeah, but prices go up, you know, so. But Charlotte, Charlotte, she's a little tunnel rat. She gets from apartment to apartment through the vent tunnels. She's like 11 years old, and she just crawls through the vent tunnel, the ventilation system. And one day she's in her grandmother's apartment, and she sees that there's this spider in her grandmother's apartment, and she's like, oh, it's a cool looking spider, and she captures it, puts it in a jar, and that's like the wrong thing to do, because this spider is from outer space. At the very beginning of the movie, we see this comet, this little bitty, you know, golf ball sized comet come down to space, go through a window, which was her grandmother's window, crack open, and then just like in Alien, you know, you see the like, you know, like that, and a little spider came out. And this girl's like, I can't find anything about this spider online. I can't match it. But it's really cool. It'll sing, you know, when it's hungry. It'll go doo doo doo, you know. And So she's fascinated by the spider. She's feeding it cockroaches. She's finding cockroaches and just feeding it to the spider. Of course, the spider's starting to grow. Yeah, that's right. This spider grows, and it grows to an insatiable size. I mean, just it gets bigger and bigger, and it's one of those movies. Yeah, it's one of those giant insect movies. This movie was really well done. I liked the actors. It was a very, very cool looking movie, and enjoyable. And it went by like that. That's the thing. It's like sometimes you watch a movie and you go, man, how much longer do I have to sit through this? And other times you're like, oh, it's over? What the hell? Where'd that hour and a half go? You know? And I don't mind those. I mean, that's the way this one felt. This one just plowed right through it. And I thought the little girl was amazing. I liked the people that played her parents. I didn't like the great aunt, but I wasn't supposed to like the great aunt, so she did an awesome job as an actress. The grandmother was cool. The grandmother obviously has dementia because she would hear noises in the walls and she'd call like a exterminator, and she goes, you know, there's like a list of things to call on the wall, telling her, you know, call this, if you need an exterminator, call this number, and where she lived, and so you kind of felt bad for the grandmother, Helga, you know, but she was a really, really nice lady. Yeah, this one is definitely a 3 chainsaw movie. No problem. I'm gonna give it 3.5 chainsaws. I really like this. This had a really, really good story to it. You know, so I mean, I don't know what else to say. That was it. That was Sting. That was day 16. The resort was day 15. And hopefully no more blackouts or no more power outs. I can just keep doing these, you know. But as always, like I said at the beginning, like, subscribe, share, and comment. I always want to know what you have to say. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen Sting. If you haven't, dude, it's on Tubi. Check it out. Yeah. And I'm the 13th Wolfman, and I'm on the prowl.